Come kill.
The Jamaica Premier League Game Week 33 review. This is the week where we see a lot of draws, and top of draws, but certainly some of these 1 points gain can be crucial leading up to the final and part of the season. Welcome back, people, to MG Sports TV. Thank you very much again for tuning in. This is the Jamaica Premier League Game Week 33 review show where we saw some action and we saw some boredom. But can the action suffice for boredom? One thing for sure, this is quite interesting. Only 2 teams saw victory over this weekend. And everything else, all 5 other games, ended in draws. So please do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Gonna run through the games. Won't spend long. Definitely won't take long on this. So all of you got a much 3 needed points in the game where they play against Dumbarton. Now the difficult part for Dumbarton is that this is where they normally get their points at home. Very unfortunate. All of you rocked up in Dumbarton in Portmore and took all 3 points from a wonderful free kick from Trayvon Reed. Beautifully hit. And they wrap that up in the bag, take the 3 points home, back to East over in Harbourview. And that in itself put Harbourview in a good position. Those 3 points are much needed 3 points for Harbourview because the end of the season, it's going to be a rocky ride. Next up, we have Umberland versus Malines. Malines versus Umberland. And this game in itself was quite an interesting one. Another game week where Malines is wasteful in front of goal. Very, very wasteful. But nevertheless, Malines found the back of the net and 1 goal also a piece. As I said, the next goal for Umberland came through Richard Ramsey. Not a lot in this game. I didn't think the game was of the highest quality, if I'm being honest. But I think it's a much needed point for both teams. Now, the situation here is all teams are moving away, but they're still in close proximity. And both teams will be looking at, I think Mullines will be looking at, say, we can get Umberland 3 points. And Umberland looking at Mullines and say, this is 3 points that we need to take because they have tougher games ahead. Both Mullines and Umberland have tougher games coming in front of them. So they look to take the 3 points from each other in this. And unfortunately, that ended in a stalemate. 1-1 apiece. Anyways, next up, Mount Pleasant versus Tivoli. Tivoli, a lot of the other top 6 teams who are fighting for top 6. Racing, Waterhouse were definitely hoping for Tivoli Gardens to drop points. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. Game ended 0-0. Boring game, if I'm being honest. Not a lot happening in that game. Not a lot at all. Not much. I know I won't even go too deep in that game. Game ended 0-0. Not much to say about that game. More than Mount Pleasant still remain at the top of the table. And Tivoli Garden now squeeze in the top 6 position with that 1 point. Next up, we have Montego Bay versus Portmore United. Another 0-0 game. Both teams literally not trying to hurt each other. I do think though quite more of the chances, the big chances fall at Portmore. A little bit more of the possession dominated by Portmore. But Moby, a very good team, defensively resilient, and they look good. But not much in the game to say that, boy, it was raining shots galore, big opportunity being missed, nothing like that. So the game ended in totality 0-0, and not much to say about that game as well. Final game of the Sunday game day, we have Racing versus Vere Phoenix, and this was quite an interesting meetup. And there's I'm gonna leave the game for last because there's a few things I want to point out to you guys in that game specifically. So the next game we have Chapeltown Maroons versus Waterhouse. Waterhouse fighting for top 6. Chapeltown Maroon want to come out of the relegation scrap, and basically two EMs or two, should I say two missions collide and they just couldn't break the deadlock. Well, they broke the deadlock, but both teams find the back of the net. Game ended 1-1. Goal from Cohen. No, well, yeah, goal from Cohen, Dustin Cohen. I would say maybe it's a scrappy kind of a scrappy goal. But at the end of the day, find the back of the net. Find the back of the net. He was in the right place to put the ball back on the net. A few persons were contemplating that he was offside. But when the goal scored, persons thought that Demar Deacon was offside, but unfortunately it was not. Because Demar Deacon was behind the goalkeeper. He was actually basically in the goal when the ball had passed him. So it was not impeding the goalkeeper. It was not impeding any defender to try and block the ball. So basically all he did was just sight the ball and the ball just trickled into the back of the net. So in fairness, I think that was definitely a good goal. Penalty for Waterhouse. I think it's Nicholas Hamilton get past the defender, and as soon as he was trying approach the ball, defender stuck his foot out and he took down Hamilton in the penalty box, and Fletcher stepped up, put the ball back of that. He's the man so far for the Waterhouse team, and he's definitely delivering. Final game of the game day. Well, we're not touching the Vere game yet. It is. I think the game, and this game technically ended in the first half. And when we see, I said, oh, I was surprised because really and truly, Cavalier don't concede more than 3 goals or more than 2 goals normally. The entire season, they've only conceded 3 goals twice. One versus Umberland, and I think versus Chapelton. That's the only time they have conceded 3 goals. Other than that, you don't see it for many seasons now. They don't really concede 3 goals. So when I saw them concede 2 in the first half, I'm like, that was surprising. But it is in all aspect. This game was quite an entertaining game, very very entertaining game. Fabian Reed put himself 102nd goal in his career with a strike on the half volley. Then Dwayne Atkinson from the penalty spot with a dink over the goalkeeper. What do you call it? Penanka. With a Penanka in the 60th minute of the game. Then Werner Brown, leading goal scorer, stretching the margin on the goal scoring sheet, on the goal scoring tally, to in the 25th minute find himself on the score sheet as well. And then now Dwayne Atkinson again with the brace after a good build-up play. And Joel Jones lost the ball. And you pay for that. You pay dearly for that. And Busy Atkinson was one who with a brilliant finish to make the game 2-2. And technically, quite a lot of stuff happened in the second half, but not necessarily anything you say would miss. Both teams kind of at one point did kind of settle for the 2-2. At one point, we saw Arnett bringing on some holding midfielders, some fresh legs, some defensive players, pulling some of the attackers, and you see Cavalier kind of adding on some attackers. But the game ended 2-2. Arnett decided, you know what, let's hold on to this 1 point. It's still better than nothing, and that's it. But Cavaliers still in top 6, still in a good position. They have games in hand, so at this moment they are still in a good position. Final game to discuss for the game week is Vere versus Racing. Now, for me, I am looking at the Vere team. Let me just go through the game. First goal was scored. First goal. First goal was scored by Nicole Ellis, who was actually having a really good game, had a wonderful game, I would say. Moving through, ball came across, crossed inside the 18-yard box, and a little bit of error there by the defender, and Ellis just followed through and hit that one in the back of the net. Second goal scored by Tyrone Mullins on the 90th minute of the game, and it was a good finish. It was actually a really good finish. Now, first of all, I want to talk about the amount of 1v1, 2v1, and 3v1 that Racing got versus the Vere Phoenix team. And I believe that at this level of football, if a team is giving up so much big opportunities, you're bound to concede. Fortunately for them, Racing did not finish most of those chances. Game could have easily ended like 6, 7, or 8. But Racing was unable to convert their chances. Now, when I was looking at the Vere Phoenix team, I saw so many issues in the team collectively. I saw centre back playing strikers, attacking midfielder playing wing back, Central midfielder playing attacking midfielder. Striker playing wing back. There was so much issues. And it's a case of which let's just like I said, just let's go for the game and we'll just show everybody out there and try to see if we can get the result. And it really, really caused problems because that in itself, everyone is just all over the pitch. No one have a specific position. People just running about. And that in itself is just not good for this level. It's really not good for this level. Technically, Forbes, and the goalkeeper Forbes, probably Maggie, are the only 3 persons who actually played in their natural position, or actually played in their position. And because the goalkeeper can go down. And Forbes definitely was doing a lot of last-ditch defending. And it really never looked good. And you could definitely see why they're in such a bad turmoil. Technically, or what should I say, tactically, the team in itself is in some sort of mess. But let's see how the season prolongs. We have a few more games, 6 more games left to go. Let's see. The table has already taken shape of what's going to happen, just by observation. You'll see. All right, let me just run through the point standing. Mount Pleasant still in first place on 69 points. Annie Garden in second on 66 points. Montego Bay in third on 65 points. Portman United fourth, 54 points. Cavalier in fifth, 49 points. Tivoli Garden in sixth, 46 points. Waterhouse in seventh, 45 points. Racing in eighth, 44 points. So you can see just 2 points separating Tivoli and Racing. Dunbeholin, 33 points in ninth. Harborview, 31 points. Chapter Maroons, 30 points. Umberline, 29 points. Malines, 29 points. Vere Phoenix, 23 points. That's what the table looks like. Anyways, big up on yourself. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys again. Until next time, MG Sports TV. We are out. God bless. Look out for the preview of the game week 34. Outside people. God bless.